Hello, ma'am. Hope you are doing quite well here. And, ma'am, the prelims tension would be very high among the aspirants. So, do you have any advice for prelims for the students in this last hour or last few days?
Hope you're fine too. Yes, sir. So it's just prelims is nearing. My piece of advice would be first be positive. Let's have no tension and do not study anything in the last moment because that keeps, that keeps adding on and there's no end to it. Keep yourself calm, comfortable. Just reach to the examination hall much before. Just relax and give your 100%. I think that will do. Almost, I think students, you all have prepared it almost for a year, and that would be more than sufficient to give this exam. So, all the very best. Sir, what would be your piece of advice for the students in the last hour?
Ma'am, my advice would also be on very similar lines that we have, or all the aspirants would have worked very hard. So they have trusted the process. And if you have followed the process, the result, then you'll have to leave it to something or to any divine power which you think of. But since you have followed the process, you should trust yourself more. Just for the last day, in my personal experience, what I faced when I was living in Old Rajendra Nagar was that if you're booking a cab, on this day to reach to the center, because the number of students here are very high, so your cabs could get cancelled. So small bit of advice to those students, those who are living in densely populated areas, that you should book some other alternatives mechanism also to reach your center. And also CSAT paper is very critical, and you have at least 3 hours gap between the first paper and the second paper, and it's very hot outside nowadays, the summers is on the peak. So you should take care of yourself during those 3 hours. If your center is not allowing you to sit, so find a place, like tomorrow you have a day, so you find a place where you can go and sit and relax in those 3 hours, because you would need that calm temperament to attempt the CSAT paper, and you might be aware that crossing the cutoff could be difficult. So if you are cool with your mind in those 3 hours, you will do well in the CSAT also. We are also planning to do some analysis on the day of the exam. So what are we trying to think? Or what are we planning, ma'am? So could you give some insight about it?
You proved that you were a science teacher. So we at Unacademy are planning to go on live, where we would be analyzing the upcoming UPSC Prelims Paper 1. So all the expert faculties would be giving you the answer keys, and we would be discussing on what basis did UPSC ask these questions. So it will be purely a strategic discussion. I think that would also make students, aware of where do they stand, how their marks go, so they can determine and think about what next to do, whether to start with mains preparation or, so because we would be providing the answer keys as well. So that would be our strength, sir. So what would you like to share?
So also, you should feel relaxed after giving your exam, and you can take 1 or 2 days off, and then you can decide. By the time you would have got good answers from our institute also, and then you can decide that what has to be done next. So hopefully we see you on the other side. So thank you.
Thank you so much.